What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be tinting the car. If you guys remember from the previous videos, we used to have like some stickers on here, so I went ahead and cleaned those off. I found this spray that's very efficient in removing like adhesive. So as you can tell, nothing is left. There was like name badge stickers on there. There was like 2 of them, and then like a phone holder that was stuck on there. So it took that off fairly easily. But the reason of this video is I want to show like a before and after of the window tint. I am a strong believer in window tint. I never had any car without window tint. As soon as I buy a car, that's like the first thing that I get done to it is window tint. So I'm just going to show you the difference between window tint and no window tint. So currently this car has no window tint. It was a pain to remove all the window tint on this vehicle. It was very bad. To tell you guys that they doubled up on the film, so it had 2 layers of film on each window, and it was a nightmare to remove. My advice to you guys, and I think I'll insert some clips here, I didn't get much recording of it, but whatever I do have, I'll see if I can put it in here, is to use a steamer. And the more powerful that steamer is, the better. And just be patient, put the heat on the glass and just leave it there for a while, and it'll slowly start peeling off with minimal resistance. So you'll just drag your hand across with the steamer and it'll slowly peel off, rather than pulling it aggressively and then it starts to rip or bubbles, and then it's going to be a pain to be, you know, sitting there with a razor blade and scraping it off. You're going to be there all day. So here's how it currently looks, and it'll change the look of the car completely once it's tinted as well. So this is a quick before. I'll just do a quick walk around of it. As you can see, you can look right inside the car, see everything. You can see right through the car. And not only, like, you know, privacy, like it shows everything you have in your car, but the heat too. When you're driving down, even if you have the AC blasting, it's still gonna burn. You know, you feel it in your arms, especially if you rest your arm on the windowsill right there, on the armrest. You'll definitely feel the sun, the UVs coming through, and it burns. So definitely recommend that, you know, tinting your cars. It doesn't have to be dark. You know, you could just do ceramic tint and not as dark, and it'll do the job. Obviously not as good as, you know, if you were to tint it a little darker, like what I like to do. I usually already have a set spec. What I tend to do is I'll go limo tint all around, so all the windows, so like the driver, right from the driver's side, the rear windows, the back window will all be limo tint. And then on the windshield, I would do like a 35%, nothing too dark. And even then, that's pretty dark for most people, but I found that spec is, you know, the perfect one for me. However, it is pretty dark. So today, I don't know if I'll do the windshield. I think I'm gonna hold off on it just to see how it looks, because it also has to do with how big the windshield is. So if your car is like, you know, if you have a truck and you don't tint the windshield, obviously you're gonna be able to see inside the vehicle easier, as opposed to, you know, a car like this that has a smaller windshield and you do the same tint with limo tint all around minus a windshield, you're not gonna be able to see as much, you know, in the car. But yeah, so just wanted to get a quick walk around before I tint it, and then obviously I'll come back and I'll do another one after it's tinted and show you guys the before and after, and we'll go from there. All right, so I just came back from getting the windows tinted. I'm gonna give you guys a quick walk around. I'm gonna do the outside first, and then I'll come back in and show you how it looks from the inside. That's obviously the windshield, so there's nothing on there. Still debating if I want to tint that or not. And as of right now, I think I might do it. just because I'll show you guys in a bit, but I'm not too happy with the way it came out. Usually I expected it to be a little bit darker, but without further ado, let me go ahead and just give you a quick walk around. So there it is. It does look a lot darker. As you can see, the windshield, there's nothing on the windshield. And you can barely see anything in there. I don't know if you can see on camera, you can see the steering wheel. But other than that, you can't really see in the car. Now from this angle, you can see obviously the dash and the windshield and the steering wheel. There's nothing in the back. Here's how it looks from the back. And you can kind of see, you can see through the car up to the front. And that's kind of why I was thinking of doing the windshield, just to get a more darker look. See, from this angle on the front, you can see the dash, the steering wheel. You can actually see everything on the inside. Maybe not on camera, but in person you can. You can tell the rear is more dark. Can't see anything. From this angle, it's a little better. And there you have it, the windshield. Overall, not too bad. Give you a quick walk around. See, that bodywork's kind of bugging me. Probably get that fixed here shortly as well, in the near future. And then when I was at the tint shop, the guy kind of tested some compound, some rubbing compound, and you can see that the paint, it'll come back to life. You can see the dull right here, and then the shine where he did a little bit of rubbing compound, the polisher. Came back pretty well. So now let me go through the inside. Car's super dirty from the outside right now, but so excuse that. But here we are from the inside. Obviously, like I showed you guys, the windshield. And then here's the passenger side. So all these, it's limo tint. I mean, obviously with limo tint. So that's a visibility from the back, and then the rear hatch. There you have it. So comparison from limo tint to nothing, just clear windshield. You can see the difference, and during the daytime you can see no problem through the sides, and then the back you don't have no trouble, you know, seeing outside. This is a hatchback, so it is a smaller car, so that might be different with, you know, a sedan or even an SUV. It's going to be a lot darker. Here you go from this side, driver's angle. You know, you can see clearly. In the night, obviously, it's going to be a little bit darker, but you get used to it. One thing that I was kind of observing with this car, and I don't know if it's because it's a hatchback. If you guys, other Scion TC owners, could probably comment on here. With the window tint, I don't know if it's a lighter shade on the hatch or if it's just me, but I kind of think the hatch might be a lighter shade compared to the side windows. because I know these for sure are limo tint. And the reason I say that is just because on the back I feel like more light is coming in than it should. I feel like it should be a lot darker, and really no light should be coming in. But then again, the hatch window is a lot bigger than regular, so I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. Worst case, I might have to get it redone. But yeah guys, so that's it for this video. We got it tinted. Doesn't look too bad. Next step, I'm gonna wash it real quick and get it all cleaned up. And then I still have to deal with that check engine light that I have. It's for the catalytic converter. I want to narrow it down to make sure I'm replacing the correct one. So I'm gonna try a few methods to see if I can narrow it down, and then I'll let you guys know which one it was and the repairs, because that's a pretty expensive repair just for a catalytic converter. All right, you guys, so quick update. It's been a few days since that last clip you guys saw. Since then, I did replace the catalytic converter on the car, so we have no more check engine light. I still need to look into that TPMS sensor. I'm not sure if it's broken. I know it's not the tire pressure, because I already fixed that. I mean, I filled the tires with the correct amount of air and it's still there, so they probably need to reset it, or one of the sensors probably broke. I need to look into that still. But the catalytic converter's fixed. I cleared the code, it stayed off, so that's done. If you guys remember on that last clip, we were looking at the window tint and how I had a concern about the rear window being a little bit too light. So there you guys have it. I was able to fix that issue. If you can tell, I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but the one on the left is supposed to be limo tint. The one on the right is supposed to be limo tint as well. If you guys remember from the previous clip, it was a little bit lighter than normal, and indeed it was. If you guys see, you can see a reflection on the top. I have that yellow sign in the back, so just keep that in mind, because I'm going to reference something right now. But you can see that that hatch is a little bit darker. So what ended up happening is I went back to the guy that tinted the car and I told him that it was a lot lighter than it should have been, and come to find out it was. So I'm not really sure what happened, if he used the wrong film or that film itself was just a lighter shade of 5%. I'm not sure. I think it was just a lighter shade in general. So what he ended up doing is he doubled up the roll. So he double tinted it pretty much. So there's 2 layers. So now it's gonna be a little bit darker than the side window. So that's probably like technically like 3% around there compared to the 5. And you can kind of see it on video right there. The one on the right is a little bit darker than the left. It looks a lot clearer. But I don't mind that. That's actually what I wanted. I wanted it to be a lot darker in the back. That way the car stays a little bit cooler during the day, especially in these hot summer days. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied. He did a good job on the car overall. Just the shade was a little bit too light for me, but he went ahead and took care of me. He just added another layer of tint, which fixed the problem. So we're all good there. Let me show you real quick a walk around, just so you see how it looks. So before, this is the rear. Before, you were able to look in the hatch right here. Now I'm directly over the window and you can't see the yellow sign. So there is a yellow sign in there. Before, you could see everything in the hatch. Now you can't see nothing at all. If you were to come up to the window, you can kind of see that's because of the windshield is not tinted yet. Then if you look in the rear, you can't see anything. So right now the windshield is clear. There's no film on there at all. And then it's a limo tint all around. So you can barely, on video, you could barely see through the windshield. And that's exactly what I wanted, to where the previous film, you could see right through the car. So this is definitely what I was going for. So you can see from the side, you can kind of get the light coming in from the windshield, but once you go this way, you can't see anything, even if you were to go up close. It's just a reflection of the outside. And then the windshield, obviously, it's clear, so you can still see if you come close. But yeah, guys, there it is. So with that being said, you can see the windshield is clear. And then you go to the left and there you have tint. But highly recommend, I always go limo tint, especially on smaller cars like this, because the windshield's gonna let a lot of light in and it just keeps the heat outside. And obviously privacy. I'm still debating on the windshield. Even with this setup right here, when I'm driving, I tend to rest my hand on the steering wheel like this, and you can see the sun hitting it. It still burns, so I'm highly considering just tinting the whole windshield, maybe going a lighter shade, of course, maybe like 35%. That's normally what I do, just because it is still pretty hot, and then the seats get hot as well when the sun hits it. As you can see, you come in the car, you sit on them, and it just burns you. It's pretty hot. So there it is, guys. That's pretty much the new tint on it, a fresh new tint. I'll see if I can show that liquid I used to, or that spray that I used to remove the rest of the adhesive on the hatch, because that thing worked wonders. It was instantly, you just put it on the towel and wipe it, it would just wipe right off. So that came in handy. So I'll see if I can insert a clip probably here, or a picture of it, or even link it down below, that way you guys can get a hold of it. So real quick again, the steamer did most of the job. It was like 90% of the job. Remove the film, remove the glue, everything just with the steamer alone. So all the front windows, it was all the steamer. I just used a steamer and that was it. On the rear hatch, however, I had some issues just because I believe the previous owner had started to peel the tint off already, and he left the residual glue on the car, so which is why the steamer removed the other layer that was left. But towards the top area over here, there was some like just adhesive. It was just adhesive left over, no film, just the glue from the tint. So for that part, I ended up using, believe it or not, it was this right here. It's the Zepp industrial purple degreaser. This thing is very strong. It worked wonders. All I did was I sprayed it onto a rag and I started wiping the adhesive, and it just came right off. Very little effort. So I definitely recommend that. Quick disclaimer, use it at your own risk. What I would do is after you remove the adhesive, make sure you clean the glass thoroughly with the glass cleaner, just so you don't leave any degreaser left over, especially if you're planning on retinting the window, because that might affect this, you know, the adhesion of the new film. Even if you take it to a shop, I'm sure they'll do a, you know, thorough clean through, but just something to think about, especially if you're doing it on your own or at home. Make sure you clean that glass thoroughly and there's no degreaser left behind. But very good product. I didn't expect that to work for this application, but I mean, it worked perfectly. So there it is. It's the Zepp, and I believe you can get these at Home Depot or online as well. So there you have it. So that's pretty much where we're at currently. Next up, it's gonna be little miscellaneous pieces that I need. Like I need this little fuse cover right here, that little box. I have it, but one of the tabs is broken, so it doesn't fully assemble and it just keeps falling. So I need to get that piece. I need to get the door sill for the passenger side, and the trim piece for the hatch. Just little miscellaneous things here and there. So the next video, I'll probably go to the junkyard, see if I can find some, because I found some pieces on Marketplace, but they're kind of expensive. So I'll probably go check out the junkyard, see if it's better, just go do that. So stay tuned for that video. Drop your comments down below. What should we do next on this car? Any suggestions? And that's gonna do it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.